Fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 1019 100.5, 1450 WGNSSports.com and Big G TV.
Back on the Coach's Show, brought to you by Dr. Automotive, the cure for your car. Professional auto repair and maintenance from ASE certified mechanics and master mechanics. Check them out online at autorepairsmyrna.com. Speaking of Smyrna, the head coach, Matt Williams, joins us this morning. And, Coach, leave it to me to get us behind already, but appreciate you hanging on here with us.
That's all right. I understand, Brian. Good to talk with you.
When we get talking football and, region play starting next week and, all the excitement of everything going on, it's just a really, really fun time of the year. And, you guys have really done some things pretty remarkable. Going to Hendersonville is not an easy place to go and not an easy place to win, and you did that last night.
Yeah, it was sort of odd night, and I'd forgotten. When I first started coaching this morning, we were actually in a district with Hendersonville, Gallatin, and all that bunch, and I'd forgotten how hard it was to get to Hendersonville High School football game, but we didn't get there last night till after 6 o'clock, and so it was a sort of a right from the get-go, we were sort of throwing off our schedule, but I thought the kids did a good job for the most part, getting themselves together and getting warmed up. And it was a little hectic to start with, but, we didn't play like we probably wanted to, but you can't complain about a win on the road, especially at a place like Hendersonville. So I was proud of our kids, how they played in the second half, because our backs were sort of against the wall at halftime, and I thought we answered when we needed to.
Well, that's what I kind of was going to lead into the next question. To have some things go like that, I didn't know about the trip, but obviously I've made that trip, and if you don't leave and then you're at the mercy of, who's run into somebody else in a fender bender or whatever, and it's just really not a very fun place to try to get to, but you did have to overcome some adversity and kind of made it close there at halftime, and then second half kind of rolled off and got some things adjusted and won the ball game 31-20 last night.
Yeah, we started the game off the very first play of the game. They kicked off to us, and Zacchaeus McCarver had a 91-yard touchdown return, and so that was a big start. And we actually were ahead 10-0 for most of the first quarter, and but then defensively, I thought we played for the most part probably 85% of the time, 90% of the time. I thought we played excellent, but I thought we gave up too many big plays, and that was one thing we were worried about a little bit. You had some kids there, especially their quarterback, and they had a number 13 that could really run, and they popped some big plays on us. But, like I said, when it mattered, we answered, and offensively we were really stagnant the first half, I thought, and, had some guys show up the second half, and, that was a good thing.
I don't know really what they have, at halftime and where you meet and do all those things, but all of that being different every place you go, especially when you go on the road. I mean, those are some of the things that make home a more comfortable place, but maybe it's easier to get your point across when things maybe aren't going exactly how you want it to, and to make some adjustments in the second half. But I've just heard people talk about how it's kind of a tough place to, at halftime, make those adjustments and things. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, it was, like I say, a rough environment, but, we got it done, and we're able to, make the adjustment we need to. I thought Mark Williams' offensive coordinator made some really good adjustments to help us run the football in the second half, and they were doing some things to take that away, and I thought we did a better job blocking in the second half. Travell Gordon had done a good job running the football, but it was for rough sledding, and then R.J. Williams came in, and R.J. had ended up with 105 yards rushing and did some really good things, and Gianni Allen came in at quarterback. We had struggled, to be just honest, struggled throwing the football and executing the first half, and I thought Gianni Allen came in and made a big throw on a fade ball to get us down in scoring position, and so kudos to him. He had not played the whole first half. To be able to come in the second half and make a big play like that right off the bat gave us some energy.
Well, you mentioned RJ also, and Z. Z, not only did they have that big kickoff return, but a big almost 40-yard reception last night. Nice run. I mean, it sounds like you've got kids that are playing in multiple positions and doing what's best for your team for that series, for that play.
Yeah, we do. And we were a little shorthanded last night. Donnell Valentine was out, our big tight end, who, that's sort of changed our offense quite a bit, and had some other kids that have been sick this week, and sort of a weird week. But I had some kids, like I say, step up, and I thought RJ sort of changed things in the run game and made some big plays. And there were things we didn't necessarily have blocked up perfectly, and he really made some good runs. And Zacchees, had the big throw I was talking about from Gianni, who actually was to Zacchees. It was like a 36-yard reception on the sideline and got us in scoring position. And just had some players step up when we needed them to, and that was a good thing to see. And defensively, like I say, there were a lot of times defensively that we were dominant. We've just got to quit giving up the big play, and offensively we've got to start. We got to stop being our own worst enemy. A lot of times in the first half, there were things we had called that didn't get executed, or I think sometimes we have kids that they almost outsmart themselves trying to think a little too much, and we had a couple of turnovers last night that could have been prevented if they had just executed what we asked them to do, and we got that corrected. And so, again, you got to give credit to the kids. You're on the road like that in a tough environment. We played in two tough environments, at Brentwood and at Hendersonville is not a good, easy start to the season. So I think we've been battle-tested as far as road game environments. And, so, again, this can't be any prouder of the kids and how they responded in the second half.
No doubt about that. Matt Williams joining us, the head coach of the Smyrna Bulldogs. Let's talk defensively a little bit. Zarian Butler last night, 4 tackles, 2 sacks, a couple of pass breakups for you, and Noah Jager also had 8 tackles, forced a fumble, and fumble recovery too. So, your guys were getting after it.
Yeah, Noah's been a kid for the last 2 weeks. Has played really well, I feel like. And last night, I think he was really physical and had some tough assignments there on the edge, setting the edge and filling some inside gaps there. And, was really good rushing the pass last night. Jerry Martin was a force on the D-line last night and made some big plays. And like you said, Zarian Butler, I thought played really, really well. And he's a kid that's come in and given us a little bit of a shot in the arm at outside linebacker, and thought he played really well. And I think Anthony Staples, we watched tape, played well. And, they were doing some stuff in the option game that was giving us trouble. And, Coach Villarreal and our defensive staff did a good job adjusting that in the second half. They sort of shut that down.
Coach, it's hard to believe that you haven't played your first home game, and it's also hard to believe that we're talking about region play starting this next week, and it's region the rest of the way. And the realignment brought more teams in. While it does give you there are pros and cons, I see, just about for everybody. The number of games that you have to get non-conference, all that kind of thing, that certainly helps. Travel certainly helps. You're in the county. But you played 2 former state champions in the first 2 weeks, and now you play in the region play. The first game for you is hosting a team that's won 4 out of the last 5 6A titles.
Yeah, it is what it is. And, that's why I think I was glad how our schedule set up as far as tough non-conference, to start off with. And obviously with Oakland, a great football team, or, there's not going to be a better football team you're going to play. And it's going to be a big challenge for us. We're excited about it. We're excited to be back in this region. A lot of people talked about that, but when it happened, I was sort of glad because I think it just gives you back more of your natural rivalries. And we want to be challenged. This game is no fun to not be challenged. I'm not saying we're challenging another region, not saying that at all, because, dealing with Cane Ridge there a number of years when they were really good, that was not easy. But this region, obviously, every team you play is going to be extremely well coached and have really, really good players. And obviously, Oakland is the tone setter, or whatever you want to say, the standard, because the proof is in the pudding what they've done the last number of years. And Coach Creasy and his staff do a great job, and obviously got great players. And the Tut kid, I don't know a lot about their roster. I do know about the Tut kid. He's a stud, one of the best we'll see. And you got, they had a kid move in that was a Shelbyville kid. I guess it was at Webb or whatever. I was really glad to see they got him. That's just another weapon. But it'll be a big challenge. But, that's why you coach. That's why you play. We know we're up against a big challenge. And, like I said, we gave up some big plays last night. We're going to fix that because with Oakland's offense, obviously they have a tremendous big play capability there. So we're going to have to be extremely sound in our gaps and our fits. We're going to tackle well, and obviously going to have to be disciplined in the pass game because they got that really good receiver. I've seen their quarterbacks in 7-on-7. They throw the ball well and they're extremely athletic. So big challenge for our defense, but I know our kids will be excited about that. And again, it's why you play the game. It's also you get to see where you're at early in the season. You go into region play, and you're going to start with the team that many would say is obviously the overwhelming favorite to win the conference, so the region. So, we're excited about it. I don't, I think people talk about that, but, if you're worried about games like this, you don't need to be playing or coaching.
Well, you've played in a ton just like this. So, but the fact that you get to be home, all the brand new things. I mean, it just seems. I mean, you got the new video board. You've made some improvements in facilities. You all have really emphasized that over the past couple of years, and this offseason have done some more. And I'm sure everybody is excited to get in front of the home Friday night lights.
Yeah, we're excited about it. Got obviously the new video board. It'll be the first time doing that, and we're going to actually honor SRM Concrete and the Hollingsheads right before the game, so that'll be a neat deal. And we're just excited about our atmosphere we've created here, and we've been allowed to create through SRM Concrete and with our SRM field, and now with the big video board. So I'm excited about it. We're proud of what we've been able to do, and hopefully it'll be a great atmosphere that everybody can enjoy.
Most certainly. Well, Matt, congrats on the win last night on the road, and at least you saved some of those air miles, so I don't have to travel next week. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I look forward to that.
All right, we'll catch you next week. That is Matt Williams, the head coach of the Smyrna Bulldogs, joining us on the Coaches Show this morning. Brought to you by First National Bank of Middle Tennessee. Now, if you're looking for a hometown feel with your bank, turn to First National Bank of Middle Tennessee, offering full-service banking and mortgage services.